And welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Great incentives all the time at Madisonville Marine. You got them going on right now. Special deals on G3 Suncatcher pontoons. Rebates up to $1,500 back, depending on the model. That's now through July 3rd. There is no better place to buy a boat than Madisonville Marine. And when the temperature's 120, like it's been for the last week, there is no better place to be than on Tennessee's lakes. All right. Some quick slants in this segment. I'm going to give you guys some quick questions, want quick answers. That's the name, quick slants. A lot of quick in here. You're not very quick.
No, that's not my vocabulary.
All right, I'm going to start with Kyler down there. Florida's Jalen Tabor, defensive back, has been running his mouth all offseason, aiming a lot of the talk at Tennessee, specifically at Jalen Hurd. You were on with our friends Jimmy Himes, John Wilkerson this week. You had a message for Mr. Tabor.
I think he picked the wrong guy to pick on. Jalen really does take those things to heart, and I would just tell him to probably wear a different number than he wore last year, because if Jalen finds him, it'll be bad. I mean, he's 6'4", 240 pounds, all of it. I saw him the other day taking some shakes home, and I said, "What are you trying to do, gain weight?" He's like, "Yeah, I might as well get to 250, see how it is." So if you want to take that on, you go right ahead, Jalen.
Yeah, and he was running people over last year like a freight. He's pretty good with a stiff arm.
Yeah.
Let me ask very quickly, how much bulletin board stuff do your coaches put up? Do you go through there and you hang a little stuff here, a little something there, or do your guys not go into that much?
Well, there's always a theme of the week, which we try to stick to. It just depends on the team, what you're really going to need to beat them. It's been sniper focused before, strain, T-tough, just all these different things. And it's just one thing to kind of remind you, what is your mindset going into the week? What is your mindset going into facing this team? How do they play? How do you need to play to beat them? So it's not too much bulletin board stuff, but it's that main theme, that main focus to get you ready.
But Jalen Hurd will have heard that. That'll be his focus that week is Jalen Tabor.
Yeah.
Mike Stoll, there have been some people who've said, when this happened, Jalen Hurd, Jalen Reeves-Maven both fired back, pretty gentle in their shots back at Tabor. But then Butch Jones got to put the mute button on. There have been some folks who say, well, that just shows you're scared. You need to talk more. It will loosen the team up to trash talk a little bit more. What are you a fan of, trash talk or silent and carry a big stick?
Yeah, just shut your mouth, play the game is my mentality and my thought process. Be quiet. Let them pipe off all they want, because all it does is fuel a fire. And a lot of the times when you're mouthing off, it shows insecurity. And you keep mouthing off and the other team just stays quiet, and you keep mouthing off, they don't reply back, then you start digging yourself a deeper hole. And I can promise you, we had a lot of guys that we played against other teams, and they would mouth off, and we would specifically, hey, don't say a word. We had Dale Carter, who was one of the best at trashing, at talk trashing, and even Dale would keep it quiet, because we know, hey, we'll come back for you, and we're going to play it. We're going to settle it on the field. And after we beat you, we're just look at you and go, all that talking did nothing, right? That did nothing for you. We just whipped you. And that's basically the mentality I like to take.
All right, moving along, I've got a question for you about Mike DeBoard. Coming in last year, seemed to have become more at ease in terms of play calling, I thought, as the season went on, more diversified a little bit. Part of that was he had one off season with you guys. You got this from the playbook. Now he's had 2 off seasons. Do you think the playbook's going to expand, or do you think he's simply going to look at, let's just improve what we do? In other words, have fans seen everything there is to see with Mike DeBoard, or do you think there's more stuff waiting?
Well, you don't want to fix anything that isn't broke. So the running game, not going to change much. We're going to do what we did before, give it to Jalen, give it to Kamara, have Dobbs fake it and run it himself. That's what's going to happen. The passing game, it might change a little bit, but it's better to have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, where you're great at these pass plays than okay at a bunch of others. So I think that's more the mindset of Coach DeBoard is we're going to be great at these things, at these specific things that we can be great at before we're good at everything.
Okay, very good. I had one more for you, but we're going to have to hold it because I want to get to Dan Flesser here in a minute with the Knoxville News Sentinel, catch up on the Pat Summitt situation. But you two will be back with us in our overtime segment today. Mike Stoll, the former offensive lineman, is going to give his observations on last year's offensive line performance, and we're going to let Kyler Kervison respond and react. So that should be good. Kyler, looking to catch on with a team this fall. We wish you the best of luck. Like I say, we'll see you on overtime. But if you don't make an NFL roster, I hope you'll be back on our roster this fall. Good job. Glad to have you. When we come back, we'll check in on the latest of the Pat Summitt situation.